So the next thing we're going to look at is lists and dictionaries. So what is a list and what is a dictionary? Actually, so in programming we have something called data structures, right? And then this list and dictionaries come under this data structure. So a data structure in programming is a special type of variable that allows the program to store and retrieve data in a specific way. So we've talked about variables already, right? In last week, we talked about variables, right? So in a variable, you see we were storing one, said it allows you to store one something into a house like this, and then you can later use it somewhere, right? So but you can see that we're only storing one thing, like maybe one string or one number or one float or one boolean, something like that, right? So what if we want to store more than one thing? What if we want to store a lot of things in our variable, right? In our variable. So that's where we use this lists and dictionaries, so data structures, and they allow us to store things. Okay, a lot of things. So as the name suggests, a list is a list. So let's just start with something simple. So let me see. Let me call a variable. Um, Let me create a variable. So open a list. All right. And to create a list in Python, you just bring your bracket, square bracket. So let me say, what am I doing? So you see that this itself is a string, right? So I have more than two strings in here. Okay, so you see the use of the list. Okay, I don't know whether the spelling is correct or not. And all of that, right? So you have a list here. So if I print the list, I'll say fruit list. So let me clear my terminal. So Python 3 as a list.py. Going to print the fruit list from mango, banana, strawberry, pineapple, ginger. Right. So I think I need to put this thing off. It's kind of eating away my memory. Alright. So fruit list. So the question is, what if I want to access the element only this here? So there's a list, and the items in it are usually called elements, right? So what if I want to access this element, or this one, or this one, or this one, or this one? You see that it has been arranged from in position, right? So this is the first position, second, third. So in Python, this will be position 0, right? So if I want to access mango is at position what? 0. So I just say fruit list, and I bring first square bracket, and then position 0, right? And if I were to run this, it will print only mango. So this is 0, position 1, position 2, position 3, position 4, which means that if I want to access position 4, the element in 4, right? Simple and short. So that is what a list is. A list allows you to store a lot of elements. Okay, so let's go ahead and create another list and call weeks. Is it weeks? Days. Go Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. All right. So if I print the days to give me all the elements in days, right? So if I run this, see Monday, Tuesday, after. If I want to get Sunday, what will it be? Preposition 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it is important we count from 0. Right. Okay. So let me clear this. So let me do more example, some example here for you. So if you have a list, you say I want to print all the elements here. I want to go through all the elements here one by one. What will I do? So I can use, remember we talked about for loop and while loop. So I can use a for loop to go through it, and I can use the while loop to go through it. So let's say I want to use for loop, a while loop to go through it. So the position of an element in the list is what we call the index. So let me just say, okay, let me just use I for short. Let me say index equals 0, right? Now let I print days of 0. What is going to happen? Of course, since index is days of index, since the index is 0, it's going to print the first day, or the day at position 0, which is Monday, right? Which means that I can use a while loop, as we said, to go through this and say, well, index is less than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? But I don't have to say 7. We have a function called, so we've talked about function. We have a function called len, right? So if I say length, if I say len of days, what it means is that this is a list, and the number of elements in it is called what we call the length of the list, right? So this function len is a Python function that will count the elements inside. So in this case, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? We have 7 elements. So if I print the length, it's going to be 7, right? Okay. So it's a while the index is less than the length, print days of index. So one thing we need to do, so if I run this, it's going to give me only Monday, and it's going to run see it was running it was only supposed to. It's because of the logic we've put here. So we have something we are calling an infinite loop. So what is an infinite loop? So we are just telling the computer that index is initially 0, and you say, well, index is less than length. Length here is 7, right? Because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the 7 element. Print days of index. So what we are doing here is that we are just printing days of index, which is 0. So day of 0 is Monday, right? And it will continue to print day 0 because index is always 0 and length is always 7. So we need to change the index, right? So these are some of the little mistakes that can happen. Is equal to index. So one thing you can do is say, if you say index is equal to index plus 1, that's a shortcut for this. Is z plus equal to 1. So this is the same. This is the same as index is equal to index plus 1, right? If you want to say index is equal to index plus 2, you can just say plus equal to 2. In fact, you can do plus equal to anything. In fact, you can even do minus equal to, which means that index is equal to index minus whatever number I put there. So this gets 7. So index is equal to index plus 1, right? Index plus equals 1. So if I now run this, it should give me something sensible: Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Exactly. So this initially index is 0, and length is what, 7, because we have 7 elements here. And then whilst index is 0, whilst index is less than length, so it will compare. 0 is less than 7, right? So it will print days of index. At this point, index is 0, and after this point, index will be increased to 2, and then to come and do this comparison again, 2 is less than 7, so it will come inside and continue. And this will happen until, say, 2 gets to 7, and then you ask, is 7 less than 7? That answer is false, and then it will stop running the program, right? So you can use a while loop to go through this the list, the element in a list. And also I'm going to show you how to, you're going to use a for loop. So for for loop, it's just simple. So for, you can say for day, this the function here is called days, right? So for element, you can, if this is a you can give any name to whatever is here. So let me say for e in days, right? Print days. And with that one, I don't have to worry about sorry, print e, right? Sorry about that, And so with this, I don't have to worry about certain things like what has been to, right? So for e in days, print e, that's one of the things that so instead of using a name like e, I can say for day in days, right? And that means that what it will do is to start going through this one by one. So it will take the first element and it will assign it, to put it in this variable called day, and then I can use it here. And it take the second element to put it in this variable called, and so with that one, I don't have to do any incrementation and this thing. So it will just take care of everything for me. So this is what a list is. So the next thing we'll look at is a dictionary. Yeah, so the other data structure to look into is what we call a dictionary, right? We have looked at the list. It says it allows you to give a list of things and all of that. So the dictionary is just like a dictionary, right? Just think of what a dictionary is in the normal English. You see, you have, let me just search for dictionary here, right? So if you take a dictionary, you see that you can go through it word by word, and then you find maybe a word, right? Let's see, what is a B? Okay, and then you see the word, and then like the explanation of the word, right? So basically, you have something like, just think of it like you have something on the left side, and then you have the definition on the right side, right? So you have whatever word you're looking for on the left side, and you have the definition on the right side, right? So that's in a normal English dictionary, it's like that. So any word you think of, you can find a word, and then you see the definition for the word, right? So in Python or in programming, there's a data structure called dictionary, and basically what it does is it also allows you to store things like that, right? So you have something we call the key, and then what, the value. So key value pair. Anyway, don't mind my writing. So let me just demonstrate to you. So for instance, if I wanted to create a dictionary in Python, I say, okay, let me just use this as an example. Right, to create a dictionary, use the curly braces. Right, usually if I press enter like this and I open it like that. So the key So let me say I'm creating a variable called student, and I'm storing this dictionary inside. So I can say like name. I can say what Kylie, right? And age. You see the way it is, what is going on. 45. Scale. I used to. Right. So you see, like we have the key here, and then the value is here, right? So that's the point of a dictionary. It allows you to store things as key value pairs. So for instance, if I wanted to get the name of this student, I say print student, and then I use the square bracket, just like I use in list. So in list, you see the square bracket, and then I got the, so this will be index 0, and then so if I want to get Monday, I'll say days of index 0. So here, if I want to get name, it's the same thing. I say days and then square bracket name. So if I print and I run, you see the name comes, right? So a dictionary is like that. Okay, so just like you can look through lists, we can also look through dictionary. So let me say for val in student, right? If I just print val, let's see what happens. So let's comment this one out, and when so cd week 2, the python 3 dictionary.py, and to see to print just the keys values, right? So if I say student dot items, to print this one as 2 pairs, right? So I can say for key comma value in student dot items. Now this dot items comma, then this dot items here means that give me the key value pairs like this, right? So it will take this one and this one, and to return them as this. So if I say key comma value, then the key will be the first one, and then the value will be the second one. So right, so print comma key, and so that is what a dictionary is, right? So in the next one, we are going to try to put everything we've learned so far from now together, and then we are going to build a grading system, a full grading system, applying whatever we've learned up to now. And then we'll go and build a full ATM simulator, and then we'll go through what models and packages are. So for now, that is all we got for you. See you in the next video.